can like human beings fall off?
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Like you could fall off as a person?
For sure.
What age are you allowed to fall off as a person?
Well, you should never fall off.
I disagree. I don't think you have to. I think like right now in the stage that we're all in, we should be like actively trying to improve ourselves.
Yeah.
But I think at a certain point, it's like, yo, I am who I am, and y'all are just gonna have to deal with that as you may. And I think that's how you become like a grumpy old person.
Can you
explain?
I think that's okay. Can you explain what that means in terms of falling off? Like how are you falling off by just being like solidified in who you are?
Like you're not keeping up with the new trends, the new slang, the new lingo. You're not trying to dress with what's in fashion. You know, you're just like, this is what I know, this is what I like, and I'm gonna continue to be like this. And you can probably get that off for a couple years, but then once you do that for 10, 20 years, now you're just old and out of touch.
I don't think anybody should ever know what they like and just strictly stick to that.
That's fair.
I think humans are constantly evolving, and no matter what age we are, we should be working towards becoming a better version of ourselves.
So you don't think you're ever gonna fall off?
Never.
What
Impossible.
But like, what about like?
I'm so hungry for the best version of me.
Yes.
And I know deep down that will never be found.
You'll never be the best version.
That will never be actualized. But I, the day that I lose the fire to be the best me possible is the day that I hope you put a bullet in my head.
Oh God, so dramatic. like the most dramatic you could make that.
Wow.
What is life if not a quest for self-improvement?
Okay, but speaking to Spencer's point though, I do think that constant self-improvement is how you age gracefully. Yeah. Everybody has different eras that they go through. For example, when I was in college, you know what I'm saying? I was pounding Bud Lights. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm out here sipping wine.
But you're supposed to be doing that. I think that as you age, aging gracefully is being comfortable within yourself.
Yeah.
And I think right now we should strive to be uncomfortable. At the current age and place we are now, you should be putting yourself in uncomfortable positions so you can grow more.
Okay.
But I think at a certain point, I've done enough growing. I'm going to be tall enough.
Disagree.
I know that I'm going to be an old head. And I'm excited to be an old head because I'm going to impart the wisdom that I've gained throughout my journey that's going to be transferable across generations. But at a certain point, I'm not going to be running around with the young bulls.
That's not what it means to fall off.
I think that kind of does. I'm not going to be listening to what they listen to.
Like take Jay-Z and take Lil Wayne.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like Jay never fell off. Jay didn't change. He didn't become someone new. He's not trying to keep up with trends, but he continued to push himself to make great art and to breach new topics and new ground within his business ventures and his artistic ventures. And he never fell off. Even if he never makes another album, I don't think he's going to fall off because he's continuing to push himself in new avenues.
I think Jay-Z is no longer the barometer for cool. And I think he used to be.
But that don't mean falling off.
He fell off a little bit.
I don't think Hov fell off at all.
And I would disagree. I think Jay-Z is still very cool.
I think he is cool for an old nigga, but like as a young person, like I'm not looking at him to be like, oh, I want to dress like him, I want to move like him, I want to talk like him. Like that dude is like not like, you know what I mean?
But
like,
you're never gonna look at Hov and be like, he fell off.
Type.
He's a billionaire.
I mean, like
how are you falling off as a billionaire?
That's what I'm saying. I think falling off. I think we use the term falling off and making such a bad thing. I think it's okay to fall off.
Did Wayne fall off?
Wayne did fall. I mean, we're going to get into it.
Let's get into it.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to the Industry Plans podcast.
What is good? Episode 142.
Back at y'all, man. Back at y'all. I'm Miles. To my left, we got Osei. To my right, we got Spencer.
Yeah.
And we was full-blown Industry Plans this week, guys.
For sure.
I had a really, really good time. It's BET week. The award show just finished airing right now on Monday that we're filming. And we were moving around all week.
Yeah, bro. Full on industry plant, inserting our seeds everywhere.
But I'm not used to that.
Yo, you're not
that
just
was
gonna
wild.
run over that.
That was wild. I didn't register when he said it.
Is that what you were doing?
I planted no seeds nowhere. I'm new to this
Always
for real.
Seeds,
is that what you did at the Jerk and Jollof?
The Jerk and Jollof was a crazy.
You planted
some
seeds.
Very
crazy.
wild title.
Osei was definitely moving at that. Osei was on the stage like a baddie per usual this weekend. He got his one little moment out there, but I was really looking to Osei to kind of help me learn how to navigate this week. Because I feel like if we were to do like industry rankings, I would have to say that you're probably the most industry. Like I feel like you just move around in it, you be in the mixy events, all that.
I feel like Osei's in the wrong field. I feel like you shouldn't be in digital and you should be a publicist.
Osei,
I like that.
Osei's everywhere, bro. But you know me, I like to be in the crib. I don't be on my shit, you know what I mean? But I decided to pop out this week. You know, I was able to move around for the first time. And I have to say that industry niggas suck to party with and to go out with. I went to some events that had a lot. Shout out to everyone who came out. Shout out to everyone who put on the events, because I think that the concept of a lot of these was really, really fire.
Yeah, for sure.
I think there was a lot of potential in these rooms and the vibes and the DJs, but I think the crowd was just not on that, bro.
Yeah, it's difficult, right? I think we had this conversation before. You can't twerk on your coworker.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You can't catch one from your coworker either. It goes both ways. So it's like it's really one of those things where I don't know when it became like this, but at some point we can't walk into rooms and just have fun anymore, because we do have to compose ourselves in a professional manner.
But you can have fun because everyone knows the vibes. Everyone knows that they're busy as fuck this week.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows they have work in the morning. Everyone knows why we're here. So it's like, yes, I agree. You can't let things get past a certain point.
Yeah.
But it's like, you could have fun. You can dance. You could enjoy the music.
But you never want to look stupid in front of all them.
But everyone.
Y'all always be getting on me for being in places you don't think I should be. But that's why I be going there. Maybe I want to shake a little ass.
Oh my God.
Maybe that's why I'm in the dusty little dive bar where some shit might go down. Maybe I want to shake a little ass.
Man, I'm just like, bro, I was tired of seeing niggas mean mug each other through some sunglasses and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was not all the way it, but I did have a good time. You know, that was fun. Shout out Rap TV. We also did some good little hosting shit. Got to chop shit up with some artists.
I want to get into that, but I want to talk to you about your parties first.
Okay.
Did you get mean mugged by anybody? Did anybody famous?
So I ain't get mean mug. I'm gonna have to, like, you know, I was on my industry nigga shit because I was there for daps strictly. Mm-hmm. I was there for visibility. You know what I mean? I wasn't really sipping crazy like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, I had my mission. I had the people I had to see. And after that, we could have really been up out of there whenever.
You do these things right, but sometimes it's really hard to go to these things with you, because I've been to a lot of them with you, and I'm always trying to like kind of catch a vibe, and we're normally chilling, maybe we have a drink, and then you'll see like, oh my God, that's Top Dog, be right back, and I'll be like, wait, can I come? And Miles will always be halfway across the room, like in their section, like dapping him up.
You could go with me. I'll just be walking up to niggas, bro.
I know you do. You're really good.
You do got to go with them.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like, hey, if I get visuals on somebody, like, I'm not the type to, like, I even do it with like with artists and things like that. You know what I mean? I even did that when we was doing the BET shit. Like, I seen like the Poor Minds podcast, the two of them girls, Drea and Lex. Like, I was like, oh, I fuck with what y'all are doing. I see your podcast. Like, shout out to what you're doing, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like it's nice to congratulate people and acknowledge that you're a fan of their shit and not ask for anything from them. Because
Definitely.
I feel like people are so used to being like, oh, I need your contact. I need a picture, It's like, nah, like, I appreciate what you're doing. I'm learning from it. You're inspiring something, you know?
I did my version of that, but it was less graceful. We were at this R&B showcase, and I see L.A. Reid, and he's getting up out of there. So he's walking by me, and I just look at him, I'm just like, hey, there goes the GOAT, bro.
Yo, this nigga. See, this nigga be on dick, bro. That's crazy.
And so LA just looks at me, and I just like extend my hand, and he just looks at me for another second, and then he daps me, and then he walks out.
Yo, big dog. That's his best friend.
There go that boy.
LA. My boy.
Nasty word.
Yeah. And that was what really hurt my feelings. Is like, you know, when you dap someone and you could tell you only kind of know who I am. Mm-hmm. Like, if I really pressed you to like be like, what's my name right now, you'd have to think.
For sure.
You'd have to really look at me. Like, you're not even acknowledging this.
But how many people does that happen for you? You
You
got to think about it the other way around too.
Like, that I don't really know.
I think that we pass by so many different people here that sometimes it might take a little second to just like get all the details registered in the brain.
I feel comfortable saying this because, you know, I don't think I'm a dickhead. I don't move around with a lot of ego. I just think I have a memorable face or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Or I think my name is easy to remember.
You special.
Mad niggas just be, but I don't remember.
I feel
nobody.
I feel the same way.
You know what I mean? Like, and
Maybe
I feel
that's why we're supposed to be famous.
And but like, my thing too is that I'm tall. So if I go in the spot, like, you're gonna see me.
How tall are you?
You know, 5'11",
he like
bro.
6'8" or something.
He like 6'9".
5'11", bro.
There you go.
know what
Stand
I
on the money, 5'2" though.
mean? Stand on. I shrink because I am in debt right now. I go underground a little bit. But yeah, you know, we shook hands, did all this shit, talked to people. You know, did you feel like it was successful? All your endeavors, you talked to everyone you need to talk to this weekend.
For sure, bro. Because for me, at this point, it's never about like having too many conversations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this is not the way to move. I don't know if I recommend this to anybody, but I think, like you said, maybe I've been around long enough where I feel comfortable doing this. I just put myself in the right rooms.
Yeah.
I put myself in the right rooms, in the right situations, and I'm like, I'm not going to put any pressure on myself to perform in those rooms in the sense of I need to get these daps, I need to talk to these people. I'm about to just be there, bro.
You know, just vibing.
You go see the motion, bro.
Like when he was at Everyday People on the spin-off. You know what I mean?
Oh, you know we're gonna be on the stage. You feel me? You know we're gonna be stage.
It was funny seeing his play because I know the play. I see the play happen every single time you go out. It's all right. I'm on the stage, part of the crew, but I got to get visibility.
Facts.
The baddies in the crowd got to see me on the stage
For
right
sure.
now. Then make your rounds. Go down from the stage and walk around. And be like, you see me up there? You know what I mean? The girls are like, who is this guy?
Cardi B gonna see me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was, and Lizzo was there too.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
It was a wild, yo. It was crazy. That's crazy. No, it was a interesting crowd because I wasn't necessarily expecting all those people there, but I guess BET Weekend brought them out. Kaylani was there too.
No, it was
Kaylani was there with. She dating that girl K1 or.
No, they've like worked together before. Like they came out together.
I got you.
They fucking
crazy. No. How did it feel to move around without the weight of the white man? Like
that's so crazy.
Wow.
No, we miss you, Spencer.
Do you feel a weight?
No, I'm playing.
I know. Yeah. We'll get into the Rap TV stuff because we've been working with our homies over at Rap TV. Shout out them.
Shout out.
And they pitched us last minute. They were like, "Hey guys, we actually need some talent to run, BET interviews, content with the artists." But then they hit us with the line where it's like, maybe just the diverse co-host.
I don't know if Spencer. Well,
they were like, "We really don't need another white man, so we're just gonna take the black ones."
Yeah, and that's fair.
I love it when like white people can't find the words.
You know what I mean?
Because it's the funniest thing because I'm like. At first I'm like, and then I'm like, you know what? This was funny. I'm gonna keep it pushing. Like,
and I mean, if there's ever an occasion where you can just say, "Hey, we just want the black ones," it's probably covering the Black Entertainment Awards.
Saying the black ones is crazy. Saying the black ones is insane.
Spencer always gonna find the words. That's the funny part, and he gonna stand on the decision.
I mean, you can just
double back. He said, "Nah, I think that's."
I didn't feel any kind of way about not gonna be included in covering the Black Entertainment. Wait, what does it stand for? Black Entertainment.
Niggas don't even know.
BET. Television. I felt no kind of way about being excluded from covering the Black Entertainment Television Award, and I was so glad to see you guys there, getting our brand name up, getting our money up, because I might not have been there, but he's still filling my pockets, classic white man.
This guy is hilarious. I hate him. Man. We did get to talk to some funny people though. Well, did you have a favorite interview of the weekend?
Favorite? I feel like my favorite is probably not the most popular, right? Because I feel like low-key there was some big names like kind of like walking through. I talked to G Herbo. That was cool. I talked to Jello. Nice. That was dope. Boss Man D-Lo. Who else did I talk to? But I think my favorite, to be honest, just looking back on it, was talking to Rakai.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
That's a good one.
Some about talking to Rakai was just like super refreshing because I think first he's young. You know what I mean? So he's coming at it with a lot of energy and just like positive energy too.
Yeah.
And second, I think I just watched like some of the pool party content from before and he snuck in. So there was a little bit of stuff to talk about, especially with Streamer University and just like, bro, that nigga just be blowing up his room with fireworks, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, what's good with that?
Badass kid. He's a badass kid, but the content is good. Nah, my favorite was definitely Drama, Don Cannon, and their artist Kai Cash. That was some legend.
Oh, that was Kai Cash?
Yeah.
I just got put on through the whole beef shit.
Yeah.
Because he dropped a really fire
beat on his New York shit, right?
Yeah.
That was really cool. And then Layla, shout out to her. Speaking with her was dope because that Gap Year album is still in heavy rotation.
Man, but what I really wanted to hear was how the Lefty Gunplay conversation went down.
Lefty, man. Shout out Lefty Gunplay. He was actually one of the more enthusiastic people to do it.
Yeah.
Super kind, you know what I mean? Said God bless right after. I was like, oh, you know what I mean? I fuck with you, Lefty. But he definitely answered every question in his own way. Like, I think that there was like an expected answer. And I feel like when I ask questions, I normally think like this could I try to think like all the answers they could give. Mm-hmm. And I never thought of the answer that he gave. that never crossed my mind.
What was his best answer?
Easily when I was like, who's going to win the NBA finals? And he said LeBron James. And I was like, well, he's not in the, but okay, Lefty, I'm not going to argue with you right now. But yeah, shout out Rap TV. That was really, really fun. Getting into the actual awards, I think that was really dope to see. I was surprised because as everyone knows, I think I'm the least award show type of person. I'm not watching them or anything like that. But even through seeing the kind of limited coverage of it from online, it seems like people actually went all out for the Billboard Award or the BET Awards. fuck Billboard, but BET Awards.
Hey, no, let's clap it up for the BET Awards.
Facts.
Because we got on this platform last year. and talked about how much of a joke it kind of was.
Yeah.
Because it was a really, really bad show.
It wasn't
really
good.
bad pre-show. But this year, the energy was so good. The pre-promotion was fire. The show itself was great. Everybody showed out. You know, the biggest, the shiniest stars were there, you know, accepting awards. Like, it was just a really great production.
And it felt like they leaned in on the right things. Like, Kai Cenat should be at the face of all this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He almost feels like he was a de facto host of the award show, which is really interesting to me. You know, obviously he wasn't on stage, but if we're being real, most people, especially young people, are watching his stream rather than a live broadcast.
Right. And getting that like behind the scenes angle of everything is actually like an interesting perspective. I mean, I think we were talking about, you know, what are the technicalities of it with TV and all that. But I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, majority people are probably going to him. So why not give them the best content that they could get, right? I saw Drewski and him talking to like Keke Palmer backstage.
Yeah.
Obviously, the whole thing with Wale happened and Kai, you know, and like Ty Leal not being able to go on the red carpet, but his niece, right, was able to go.
Well, so the dope thing was, so Ty Lil, another streamer, one of Kai's like close homies, they came up together right there from the same area, like homies since kids, right? He gets to the show early because he's gained a pretty big following for himself. Like, that is a significant like social media personality on his own right, stand on his own too. He brings his niece to a lot of places, so he brings his niece with him to the BET Awards, and they both have credentials, trying to get on the carpet, and they pressing them. They're saying like, no kids allowed, da-da-da. A similar thing kind of happened with Rakai. They was like, Rakai can't stream. So it just seemed like they was kind of giving all the streamers issues, because again, I think this is a new money thing, new era thing. People maybe don't have the same facial recognition with an older crowd and things like that. But Kai then comes through 2 hours later. As soon as he pulls up, he walks through with the niece, and Ty Lil is able to follow, obviously. And like when Ty Lil gets on his stream and is talking to everyone, he's like, yo, that's just motivation. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not here and you're not able to do these types of things, that's not no slight to you, but it's like, this is attainable. There are people who have reached that icon status, because they said only the children of icons are able to walk on this carpet. So Kai, I think, is really, really embracing his superstardom. I think that I saw what makes him so special is how down to earth he is and how he's able to bring that out of other people. I feel like it's always been really difficult amongst Kai, like getting all of this attention and accolades and everything to really pinpoint why he wins. And I think that from seeing this, he humanizes everyone he's around. And that's really dope. He makes him able to laugh and joke and kind of feel like a kid again, because he still has that childlike wonderment about everything, I feel like.
Yeah.
Definitely. And just him being with Drewski the whole time made everything hilarious.
Drewski's the best.
Because Kai always brings the energy, brings what you're talking about, which is the personability.
Yeah.
That's a word?
Personability.
It's close, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
But Drewski is the funniest man on the planet.
Yeah, and doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, and what was he spoofing before the BET Awards?
Oh, the Genuine performance.
Bro.
Yes, that was
As
hilarious.
somebody that didn't even know the OG performance, I was like, this is hilarious. And it made me go watch the original one, and I was like, wow.
He's not real, bro.
We are really lucky.
Why can he actually kind of dance now?
He's just a talented guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say Drewski's really talented.
Yeah.
He's just a big nigga, so I think everything is a little bit funny. But he's extremely talented. His comedic timing is great, you know, because it was like they were playing into the role. You know what I mean? You especially saw it when they introduced Cardi's set, which was fire.
That was the introduction was so funny. That whole skit that they did, and then the set was cool too. The set was really cool.
I think that Cardi has not came through crazy on a lot of these award shows, because I feel like he's gotten a couple opportunities now to perform for like live television and all this stuff. Obviously, you want to entertain the crowd that's there in the actual building, but this was one of the best sounding, looking, and like interesting performances I've seen Cardi do at one of these award shows.
Yeah, I mean the bar was in hell, but
the bar was low, but I think that this was competitive with the other performances of the night.
Yeah, what I will say too is like, and I think I said this out loud when we were all watching, and I was like, oh, he's trying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think like a Cardi performance is usually very stripped down to like the bare minimum, and he's jumping around on stage with a bunch of smoke in there, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like from the set design to the way he was moving around the stage to like the little details and the YVL and all that, I think that this is a step in the right direction for somebody that is working on being a superstar.
Yeah. And I think that we also saw him tweaking everything in real time. Like, I do believe that all of Cardi's time and energy before the album dropped was actually making the music and getting the music to a place where he wanted. And I think ever since then, he's been just like changing little things up with all these performances that he already agreed to in advance, which you don't love to see. you would love more prep time, all of that shit coming into this with a plan and all these previous performances with a plan. But every single time I see the I Am Music show, it does feel a little more built out. The background visuals seem a little better. It seems like it's getting more organized, especially with the weekend tour going on.
Yeah,
as well.
the videos from the end of the tour looked pretty good.
Yeah. I'm not mad at it. He sounded good. I think that Cardi, again, the energy aspect is always going to be there with him, but it's the other piece of it.
Yeah.
With this stuff that needs to get tightened up. But he did great. Doechii obviously had the speech of the night, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just winning an absolutely stacked category.
Yeah.
And then getting on and dedicating her whole speech to what's going on directly outside where the award show was taking place.
Yeah, I think that is really, really important. Obviously, in LA right now, there's serious ICE raids going on that are very, very, I don't even know how to put it into words because you're seeing people literally get displaced from their family. And it feels like a lot of it isn't even rightful. I think the way that they're approaching this, people who have papers and documentations are even getting caught up in this just because I feel like they're getting so frazzled by everything happening. They're coming with such aggression and force. It's disgusting what's happening in LA. We're obviously praying for everyone that's been affected by this. If you can do something, if you can say something, you should. But shout out to Doechii. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about there. Let's finish BET. Do you want to go through some of the winners and losers of the night?
Yeah. I mean, this was fucking the Kendrick show, of course.
Yeah.
I think that we know that he was going to make a clean sweep. His fit was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I got to say that, bro. That with the scarf on the head, bro, this nigga been getting fly, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to him, bro.
Let's get into some of the actual winners of the night. So you guys don't know who won anything, right?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to ask for predictions as I do these, okay?
Okay.
So we got Album of the Year, and the nominees were 1111 by Chris Brown, or the Deluxe, because that was the only one that came out in the eligibility period. Alligator Bites Never Heal, Cowboy Carter, Glorious by Glorilla, GNX, Hurry Up Tomorrow, The Weeknd, Some Sexy Songs for You, and We Don't Trust You by Future Metro Boomin.
I know GNX won this.
Yeah, this feels like a GNX one.
Winner is GNX. Yeah, like you said before, Kendrick's definitely had a really great night, very deservingly so.
I'm defaulting Kendrick in 90% of these categories. Probably.
Yeah. Viewers Choice Award. So this is just a bunch of songs that got voted on by the viewers before the show.
Cool.
We have Residuals by Chris Brown, Denial is a River, Doechii, Nokia, Drake, Like That, Future Metro Boomin, TGIF, Glorilla, Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar, Luther, Kendrick and SZA, or Brokey by Lotto.
Luther.
I was gonna go. Yeah, it's gonna be Kendrick again. I was gonna go Chris Brown, but Kendrick.
Should have went with your gut. It's Residuals.
Nice.
Chris Brown.
I literally had a feeling it was gonna win too because I'm like, people love that song.
Yeah, and people.
Who's getting all my love?
That's
Chris
great.
Brown also
That's
has
great.
just one of the strongest fan bases.
Yeah.
As well.
Yo, that song deserves all the awards.
That's so deserved. I'm happy.
Best female R&B / pop artist: Ari Lennox, Ira Starr. Sorry, that was disrespectful. Did she drop anything last year?
I didn't hear it. That's why I was confused too.
Interesting. Ari Lennox, Ira Starr, Coco Jones, Kehlani, Money Long, Summer Walker, SZA, Victoria Monet.
SZA.
Easy win for SZA.
Not an easy win to me, actually.
Yeah.
Who do you think competed?
Summer Walker.
Yeah, no.
Off a couple singles?
I was gonna say not her.
She dropped the whole project.
I think the Money Long project was really good, and she still had that Made for Me song at the beginning of the year.
But she's not winning the politics game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this was an easy win for SZA. Respect to all the nominees, though. Best male R&B / pop artist:
Chris Brown.
Bruno Mars, Chris Brown, Drake, Friday, Leon Thomas, Teddy Swims, The Weeknd, Usher, Chris Brown.
But
he's still
Leon
winning.
Thomas put up a fight.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think Leon Thomas put up a fight.
I think
for
he
that.
needs. He could have won this year, but Chris Brown is going to sweep.
You
those
put Mud up
categories.
against Residuals. I think that's a toss up.
Didn't we have that conversation too here?
Mm-hmm.
We had the conversation of what was a better R&B song.
Oh
Or no?
no, we didn't have that discussion. But that's a great discussion.
Let's have it. What's a better R&B song? Mutt by Leon Thomas or Residuals by Chris Brown?
Residuals is a safer pick. I think Mutt is a better, more innovative song. But I do think that Residuals is just like a traditional R&B song done to the absolute highest degree. Like, it's like, I don't think you're going to get any pushback if you say that.
My bad. But I think I might have to go Mutt just because it's a career-defining song for Leon. And I feel like in terms of its range, I think it's, like you said, it's a less safe song than Residuals. And I don't know. I think it could extend past like just like a strictly R&B audience. You know what I mean?
I think Mud is like a modern classic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mutt is a more creative song, and I've heard Mutt covered by so many people. I've heard DJs do fire like house mashups.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard jazz bands cover it. Mutt is a classic. But to me, Residuals is a better song. It's a perfect song. It's one of my favorite songs that's come out in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
The only other thing I would add was that Mutt was so fire that Chris Brown had to remix it.
You know what I mean?
To
Like
get his heat back.
I think the thing is that there is no wrong answer. It literally does come to preference. My preference is Mutt. I'd rather listen to that song.
Oh, so
But
you switched. You're Mutt.
I think that I said that I think Mutt is better. I just don't think that you're gonna get. I think you're gonna get pushback from that. Like if you say Mutt, there's an argument. I don't think there's any argument against Residuals. But me personally,
he be speaking on the public behalf.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to set the stage, you know. But I
Which
also
means
want
his Twitter timeline.
But I want no. That's not just about. You tell me that you agree. Literally.
Yeah, I did. Let's keep going. Best group.
4-1.
I'm sorry, just seeing 4-1 and then Common and Pete Rock going head to head is hilarious to me. 4-1, Common and Pete Rock, Drake and PND, Flo, Future and Metro Boomin, Jacquees and Dej Loaf, Larry June, 2 Chainz and The Alchemist, and Maverick City Music.
Yeah. Why is this a category?
Who's Maverick City Music?
They do like more like Imagine Dragons type music.
Ugh.
Like that's not the right way to do it, but you know what I mean? Like just big soulful songs.
Yeah.
The right answer here is Drake and P&D, but I'm not sure what they decided.
That's not the right
I don't think
answer.
it is
They're not
either.
even a group. Like,
But they did a collab album.
But they're talking about anyone that did an album together.
which I think
Because they said Common and Pete Rock.
Is it a collab album category? Is it best group?
It's best group.
I hate this category, but because I think the only group in here is fucking
4-1 and Flo.
Yeah, and, you know, shout out Flo. I would love for them to win. Their album Access Hilarious is great, but P&D and Drake won.
No, Future and Metro Boomin.
Oh, and I'm happy
Y'all
about that.
sleep.
2 albums.
Yeah, they deserved it.
Yeah, they definitely should have won.
All right, this one should be easy. Best collaboration: 30 for 30, SZA and Kendrick. Alter Ego, Doechii and JT. Are You Even Real? Teddy Swims and Giveon. Beckham, D Bills, Kyle Rich, Kai Swervo, and KJ Swervo. That's 4-1, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bless, Lil Wayne, Weezy, and Thug. What is that song?
I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
This was almost a really good category.
Like that. Future, Metro Boomin, and Kendrick Lamar. Luther, Kendrick Lamar, and SZA.
Wow, so they got 30 for 30 and Luther.
Sticky, Tyler, Glow, Sexy, and Wayne. Timeless, The Weeknd, and Cardi.
Damn, that was a pretty decently stacked category, but Luther again.
Probably gonna have to go with Luther.
It was Luther.
Yeah.
Best female hip hop artist. We already talked about it. We know Doechii won, gave the speech of the night, but just to show how much of a stacked category it was, she was up against Cardi B, Doja Cat, Glorilla.
What did Cardi B drop?
Huh?
What did Cardi B drop last year?
Nothing.
What are we talking about?
They just really put everyone that's active up.
Yeah.
This is just everyone, because Nicki's also in here.
Nicki dropped her shit. Yeah, no.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Cardi B.
I think they all dropped music. Never mind. I'll just
Cardi B, Doja Cat didn't drop any music. This is really just all the women in hip hop.
It should have been Doechii or Glorilla.
Yeah. Cardi B, Doja Cat, Glorilla,
Or
Lotto, Megan Thee Stallion also dropped music. Nicki, Sexy Red, and Rhapsody.
Sexy Red, I mean, you know. Did you put on her? No, her moment was 2 years ago.
Best male hip hop artist: Big X, Bossman D-Lo, Burna Boy. Hate when they do that. Drake, Future, Kendrick Lamar, Key Glock, Lil Wayne, Tyler the Creator.
Kendrick's gonna win that.
Kendrick, K-Dot, Video of the Year.
It's like going up against Michael Jordan, bro. Niggas be like mad talented, just keep losing, bro.
3 AM in Tokyo by Key Glock, A Bar Song, Shabuzi, After Hours, Kehlani, Denial is a River, Doechii, Family Matters, Drake, Not Like Us, Kendrick, Timeless, The Weeknd, Type Shit, Future, Metro Boomin, Travis Scott, and Playboy Cardi.
The video?
Yeah.
Not Like Us. Or Denial is a River. I'd probably go with Denial is a River. Ooh, can you say the first two again?
3 AM in Tokyo by Key Glock, A Bar Song, Shabuzi, After Hours, Kehlani, Denial is a River, Family Matters, Not Like Us, Timeless, Type Shit.
After Hours was a cool video. But
They're
yeah,
doing the Not Like Us video
Like Us.
for sure.
It was Not Like Us.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I could have seen it going Denial is a River.
I'm not mad. I wouldn't have been mad at that.
That was probably a more creative video, but Not Like Us was obviously a moment.
Yeah.
And the way that video came and it just like extended the life of that song like 4 months.
Yeah.
Video Director of the Year.
You can skip it.
What did Anderson .Paak direct? Anderson .Paak.
Shout out to all you guys. I just don't know.
Anderson .Paak, B Pace Productions and Jacquees, Benny Boom, Cactus Jack, Cole Bennett, Dave Free and Kendrick Lamar, Dave Myers, Foggy Raw, Tyler the Creator.
You know, I would like to see AMD get a shot, but I guess Cole Bennett got the shine. What was it, Dave Free and Kendrick?
It's Dave.
Yeah.
This was the category I was excited about, and I'm excited about in most award shows. Best New Artist. 4-1, Ira Star, Big X The Plug, Bossman D-Lo, D-Bills, Leon Thomas, October London, Shabuzi, Teddy Swims.
It's just like, I don't fuck with that category.
What do you mean?
Like, Leon should win and probably won, but like, he's not a new artist. Like, that's just so egregious to me.
Okay, but you always get mad at this category. Just learn that maybe you're just an A&R that has a different definition of new artist.
That's your
definition of new artist is unsigned, unpublished, unmanaged.
No, it should be someone who's just putting out music. It should be someone who's early on in their career, not fucking 8 years deep.
So is Doechii,
as an artist,
is Doechii not in this? I guess you wouldn't consider it a new artist.
Exactly. Either. So how is Leon Thomas in this and Doechii isn't? That doesn't make sense.
It's like breakout artist. That's what it means. It's when you break out.
That I would have loved that. I love that correction.
All right, breakout artist.
Leon Thomas.
Who do you got?
Out of that list?
Yeah.
I'm picking Leon on some like he should win.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It did go to Leon.
Okay.
Yeah. I kind of thought maybe Big X would win it.
Nah.
You downplay what Big X is doing.
Yeah, no, you definitely downplay it.
I
think
was
you
right.
downplayed it for sure.
I was correct. No?
I think that I always look at audience, and I feel like Big X's moment right now is happening with that country song.
Yeah.
And it is still very niche, you know? So
yeah, but I mean, I think Leon's moment is still happening. Like every argument for Big X, I could say with Leon with a better body of work.
No, I think Leon is speaking directly to that audience though. The BET Awards.
I think so is Big X.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think black people and white people love that song and love. I think it's no different.
Big
rap
X
music is predominantly black, no, and that's what this nigga's making.
Leon's making. I think he makes rap music for white people.
Nah. No. I disagree. I think people really like Big X. I think most people like Big X. I think I'm a hater.
I think Big X is another version of DaBaby.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't think that's necessarily speaking. DaBaby was a little different though.
Yeah, and I think Big X is too because like there's a lot of Southern black people too. You got to think about.
I feel you. I just feel like Leon is a better like. I don't know. I like Leon better.
I
like Leon better. That's all I'll say
artist.
because I don't have a solid argument for this.
I like Big X The Plug music a lot. I just definitely know a lot of white people that are like, man, I don't really fuck with hip hop, but I do like Big X The Plug and that Mexican OT.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
I'm on the same page.
Dr. Bobby Jones, Best Gospel Inspiration Award. I'm not going to read the nominations, but I'm going to shout out the winner. Rain Down on Me, Glorilla, featuring Kirk Franklin, Maverick, and Maverick City Music.
Wow.
Glow got a Gospel Inspiration Award. That's awesome.
That's fire.
Best International Act. Oh my God, there's 100 nominations and they didn't even say who won.
Are you serious?
Well, not on Billboard.
Was it Ira?
She's up there.
Was Tyla up there?
Tyla's up there too.
So Tyla won.
Odil's up there.
Yeah.
Rema's up there. There's a whole bunch of people up
here.
They
didn't know who to pick.
There's literally like 30 names on here.
Oh.
BET Her. Beautiful People, Mary J. Blige. Blackbird, Beyonce.
What
Bloom,
does BET Her mean?
Bloom, Doechii. Just don't think too much about it.
What does that mean?
Burning.
You know, like him. Like you're really
she's
him.
Her.
She's her. Burning by Thames. Defying Gravity by Cynthia Erivo. Heart of a Woman, Summer Walker. Hold On, Thames. In My Bag, Flo and Glorilla.
Oof, that In My Bag record is pretty good. I would like to see the Summer Walk. What was it? A specific Summer? Heart of a Woman. I love Heart of a Woman. I don't think it won though. That Defying Gravity song was probably the biggest one just because that's in the movie. I'll go with Summer just because I'm a Summer fan.
I'm wrong, but I want Thames to win. So
no, for BET Her, come on, it's the Heart of a Woman.
Yes, you won.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Best movie: Bad Boys, Ride or Die, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F, Luther, Never Too Much, Mufasa, The Lion King, One of Them Days, Rebel Ridge, The Piano Lesson, The 688.
I'm anti-black. I haven't seen any of those movies. I've not seen a
I haven't seen one of those movies either.
Bad Boys definitely won, though.
But I am gonna watch the Luther movie. Shout out to him.
Have you seen any of these movies?
I haven't watched any of those movies, but Bad Boy definitely won.
Okay,
that's Will Smith's comeback.
So. The winner was Luther, Never Too Much.
Oh no!
Even when I don't watch him, I pick the right one.
Best Actor: Aaron Pierce, Aldous Hodge.
Aaron Pierce or Aaron Pierre?
It says Pierce on the website, but I'm not familiar with the name. So
Okay.
I promise it says Pierce. Maybe it's Aaron Pierre. Anthony Mackie, Coleman Domingo, Denzel Washington, Jamie Foxx, Joey Badass, Kevin Hart, Sterling K. Brown, and Will Smith. This should be easy.
Denzel? Why wouldn't Denzel Washington win?
Yeah, Denzel.
Yeah, I think it's definitely Denzel. I mean, he's on Broadway right now.
What movie was
and
it?
everybody's talking to, and he was in Gladiator 2.
Okay.
He stole the show in Gladiator 2. And everyone's talking about how he's like one of the best actors ever after watching him on Broadway right now. He's in Othello, I believe.
Yeah.
I
didn't watch that movie.
Best Actress: Andra Day, Angela Bassett, Coco Jones, Cynthia Erivo, Keke Palmer, Kerry Washington, Quinta Brunson, Viola Davis, Zendaya.
I would love for Quinta to win. Cynthia was in the big movie. I don't think she's gonna win. Kiki's been great just as a personality. I'll go with it's either Quinta or Kiki. I'll go with Quinta.
I like Zendaya.
Cynthia.
Damn it! I knew I should have said her. Yeah, she was in Wicked, the main character, the witch.
Okay. Sportswoman of the Year:
Flau'jae.
Asia Wilson, Angel Reese, Clarissa Shields, Coco Gauff, Dawn Stanley, Flau'jae Johnson,
Wow,
Juju Watkins,
Ooh, this is stacked.
Sha'Carri Richardson, Simone Biles.
See, if Juju wouldn't have tore her ACL, she would have won this for sure. Asia went crazy personally and dropped the shoe, but they weren't good this year. Coco just won. So I'm leaning Coco.
You think Juju would have won it over Asia if she wouldn't have torn her ACL?
Because I just think she would have won the tournament.
And you think that? And I guess Asia didn't win the
Asia didn't win,
cup, but she's the MVP, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go Asia. Shout out Vegas.
I'll just go Juju.
The winner is Angel Reese.
See, they got something going on here.
I disagree with that one. I vehemently disagree with that.
I know how to answer the next question after that one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We're gonna keep moving. Sportsman of the Year: Aaron Judge, Anthony Edwards, Deion Sanders, Jalen Hurts, Jason Tatum, LeBron James, Saquon Barkley, Stephen Curry.
Man, they got my nigga Tatum up out of here, bro. He would have went back to back this year.
Then he would have won it, yeah.
Probably Jalen Hurts. Let's go.
Deion Sanders.
If Deion won it, I think I'm maybe understanding more of what this category is.
The sports personality.
By seeing Deion, yeah, I think it's a mix of, because it's obviously not just about on-field performance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I guess you could take what he did as a coach as on-field performance, but yeah. I think it is a lot about the way that they probably represented in media as well.
Yeah, but it should have been Travis Hunter over Deion.
Yeah, it was Jalen Hurts though. So.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Fly Eagles fly.
That was the BET. That was the BET Awards. Any final notes on BET?
Shout out Black people. Woo, good shit, guys.
I gotta tighten up on my BET knowledge.
Yeah, a little bit. I guess we can't get into serious stuff. We kind of touched on a little bit earlier, but obviously, being a Los Angeles-based podcast, we're seriously affected by the stuff that happens here, and I think it's a representation of bigger issues, I think, in the world. And I think you said it eloquently earlier. It's easy to get overwhelmed by all the shit that's happening in other places, but when it's literally right in front of your face and you're unable to ignore it, you're forced to really say something, come up with your feelings, whatever. ICE has now been doing some crazy shit in LA. A lot of the Latino community is being seriously affected by this. If you don't think that this is something that could eventually get to you, you're crazy, because the stuff that we've allowed under this Trump administration and the things that are going on, even as someone who's not that tapped into politics, it just seems outlandish at this point and like a ridiculous power trip. And I could just see how this seems to be just the tip of the iceberg for a lot of this shit. I'm sure you guys can give a little bit more specifics, but just again, want to say thoughts and prayers to anyone who's been directly affected by this.
Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. And what we're seeing this administration do is blatantly unconstitutional. And at every turn, I think the powers of checks and balances are in question.
Yeah.
There are still people in a max security prison in El Salvador that were wrongfully put there, that are not even convicted of crimes, that the Supreme Court has ruled need to be brought home, and the administration has failed to bring home. You know, today, Trump mentioned that he is calling for Gavin Newsom's arrest and suing the state of California, and Gavin Newsom said that they're going to sue him back. Like what's going on right now is really crazy. And like I was talking to my mom on the phone today, and she's back home in Washington right now. And I was like, yo, you better get back to California. Like we about to succeed. we up out of here soon. You better get out of here before it's too late to get back into California. Cause that's literally what it feels like right now.
Yeah.
He's implementing martial law, and he has deployed. What is he? He's deployed Marines. He's deployed members of the military,
the National Guard,
the National Guard to Los Angeles to help in these protests that were initially peaceful protests, protesting what was going on with ICE, but have turned into a full-out war in downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah. I think I tend to overthink my stance on a lot of different political things, but I mean, just seeing the video and the pictures and just like also following people that are like actively affected by what's going on, especially people that live in East LA, like, I mean, I agree with you both. It's disgusting. And what I definitely want to do on my part is just support the people that live in these communities and are affected by all this. Cause like my parents are immigrants as well. You know what I mean? And I think like the idea that somebody that you know and hold dear can be picked up and like sent away at any point, it's scary. Like it's scary as fuck. So it's something that I've like seen before, you know, maybe from a distance and close by too. But just like you said, thoughts and prayers out to all the people that are being affected by it. And yeah, just looking for resources and ways to get involved.
And shit, like not for nothing. Like if you're of any minority community, like you'd be foolish to think that this couldn't happen to you.
Yeah, bro.
You know, like I think all this takes is just one decision to be like, oh, what y'all doing isn't okay. We're not rocking with y'all right now. And like when someone as powerful as the president is able to act completely on their own accord, and it seems like there are none of those checks that are supposed to be in place that are actually effective, now we're kind of in a free-for-all and uncharted territory. I'm not, obviously, I don't know what niggas gonna do tomorrow, like in terms of like we're gonna go take up arms, whatever. But like again, spread resources, talk about this, and just don't be ignorant to the fact that again, like this could be you. Like this is coming from again, so I can't overemphasize enough. Like I stay so far away from all this, and I feel so tapped out of this. But on top of the fact that like it's just so unethical and you're seeing it right in front of your face and it's obviously happening in your city, what you said, like I have a lot of friends who are immigrants from wherever. It could be any community, and just seeing how that's now affecting it, seeing how the outside world and the outside perception in every other country is now looking at America and what's going on here. It's like we look barbaric, we look immature, we look completely divided, and that's vulnerable now if we're even looking from like a military standpoint or whatever, you know what I mean? I feel like our country does not look like this unified front that I feel like we like to present to the world. And that's where I think shit can start to get really, really sticky for us in the coming months.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're a nation built on the back of immigrants.
Yeah.
So to be doing this right now is really crazy.
It's stupid. But, you know, say something. Support people. You know, if you're in LA, definitely tap in with whatever resources you can to help people. But yeah.
And vote. Like this is like, I know sometimes we get on this platform and talk about how sometimes we can be disenfranchised as voters and not feel a lot of real motivation. But this is an example because there's little we could do even if we had millions of dollars to help this situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we can vote the right people in office and read up on different immigration policies and how they're going to directly affect people in our lives. Yeah. So vote.
Definitely. And just kind of continuing on the bullshit, Timberland has been in the news because obviously he is I'm going to get real disrespectful with you and call you crazy things, but I want to just establish Timberland is dope. Timberland's very talented. Timberland has contributed to great music. This nigga looks fucking crazy as shit right now, signing an AI artist, publicizing it, making a whole thing. He started off playing with AI on his streams and then has brought in people to kind of get him familiar with the platforms and the different ways that you can integrate it into music. And I think from a producer standpoint, there are a lot of producers who are now utilizing AI, and I don't think it's a bad thing. We've had conversations at work about how to clear these things, how to get around them, the proper due process to actually put this music out when there are certain situations that the producer is using AI. I don't think that's a great thing that people are using it, but I see how they're making it not crazy, you know? They're making it so it's just to get the art to where it needs to be. But now Timberland's taking it a step further to where he's putting out vocals of an AI artist and now branding this AI artist, giving them a platform, giving them a name, humanizing this person.
Tata.
and lending his talent to making this work. And I'm just like, bro, you look crazy as shit right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is pushing us back so many years. You're someone who's supposed to be like at the forefront of fighting against things like this. And to normalize it is like, I feel like super detrimental because now the niggas who are like pro AI and doing all this shit and already not understanding the creative aspect and why that's important, they're going to be like, look, one of your own is literally on our side. And this is only going to keep, I don't know. I think it's bad for a lot of young people, a lot of new producers. Like this should not be okay, but I don't know. This really pissed me off. Do you have any different thoughts on it?
I'm pretty aligned. I think I've grappled with the use of AI in art since AI came out, but particularly in the last 3 months. You know, I'm working with an artist who is really interested in it and implementing it in different creative ways. And even my girlfriend is talking about a show that's all about utilizing AI in art. You know, she is constantly talking to Gemini and GBT, generating ideas for this handmade sculptural show she's doing. And the whole concept is teaching, you know, useful ways to use AI in art while making sure that the art is still from source, from creative. You know what I mean? And so it's a really interesting concept I've thought a lot about, but this seems to be over the line. Yeah. When the AI has a name and that is now the artist, that's when it's too far. At most, it should be like a tool to collaborate with, to generate ideas with. But I have a problem when it's actually doing all the work and making the final product. Yeah. Like, I'm not even really into AI-generated videos. Like, I don't even think that's that fly.
Yeah, I don't know. And then he just looks crazy. You seen Timberland's like eyebrows?
No.
He looks all pointed up and crazy. He looks like a fucking evil scientist in there just making his AI art or whatever. But I don't know. I'm pretty primitive. I'm anti-AI and everything. I still, to this day, have not done the chat GPT thing. Like, none of that. I'm just like, I think it makes us dumber. I know for a fact that we're going to need to do it one day. You're behind the 8 ball if you're not figuring out a way to work with it and use it, all that shit. But I'm just like, bro, I want to think. I want to come up with my own ideas. I want to challenge my brain. If it takes me 2 minutes longer to think of something, but I thought of it, that's going to keep me on my toes and able to like do this type of stuff. I don't want to be just it sounds stupid to say, but a robot, you know, and have these things thinking for me.
Yeah.
So
don't worry. I'm chat GBTing enough on stereo vision that you don't need to.
Y'all got it, bro. Y'all got it, bro. But I can't really endorse it. I hate that it's gotten into the music like this, but fuck it, right?
Yeah.
We can't stop it.
It's disappointing because didn't they already try and do this like a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
There was like an AI artist that popped up and then it said the N-word and then everyone was like, you're canceled.
Bro, these Johns is thinking of,
maybe that's what we got to do to Tata. Like
the fact that we canceled the AI for saying the N-word, not for being a robot.
I'm just thinking of the fact that like, how did the robot learn to be racist that fast?
Yeah.
Well, why was the robot
a rapper?
Well, no, why, like if his avatar was black, would it have been different? If the AI said the N-word?
It's a great question.
If the developer just programmed black skin on that rapper, does now it allowed to generate the N-word?
Damn, I really don't know.
Black, white, blue, purple, no AI artists ever again. But this is interesting because it is devaluing music, which is something that I think Vic Mensa very eloquently said in his video where he said he just finished crying in the shower. First of all, Vic, shout out you.
Shout out.
Another dope interview during the Rap TV thing. Really
you talked to him?
Yeah.
Did you ask him about this?
I brought it up. I didn't go super deep in with it, but like I would have loved to talk more about it with him. But you understand, I respect you, all that shit. Getting online with tears still in your eyes and the bedazzled do-rag was crazy. Tie-dye shirt, that nigga looked like he was full artist mode right there. Yeah. Like he looked like I'm the in-pain artist right now, but he dropped some of the truest shit in the world.
For sure.
It really made me think about some stuff. So basically he's saying that like he was figuring out how much music is worth, basically, and understanding. He wasn't really understanding anything. He was more so just showing us from an artist POV what these conversations feel like to hear.
Yeah.
He mentioned James Blake's platform, The Vault, that he was starting, where he was getting artists to upload their unreleased catalogs on there and people could pay for them. Someone commented on the post of James promoting that saying, why would I pay $10 for one artist when I could pay $10 for all of them? And Vic really got hit home by that because he's like, wow, my art, my project, my music, the thing that I spend so much time on and put so much effort into is not worth $10 to my fan, the consumer. It's not something that at this point they see enough value in to even give me 10 of their dollars. And I'm spending, it takes, you asked me a couple weeks ago, how much does it take to just put out one song? There's thousands upon thousands of dollars and hours of time that go into one song. And we're over here going back and forth about $10 for that. That feels a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
I was really saddened by that because I sometimes I forget about it even because I'm big streamer guy, you know what I mean? I'm gonna use all the different platforms. That's just the way that I consume music now. But taking a step back, it's like, damn, maybe it is worth it to me to spend those $5 with an artist I love just to buy one song.
Yeah.
I'd do that. I think that's a great, I buy a lot of merch. I'm wearing the fucking Thug Rodeo shit. Like, I like spending money with the people that I see value in. I like spending money with artists so I can say, oh, you put time and effort into this. Be it the album, be it the wardrobe, whatever, you know what I mean? You made me feel something with your creative vision. I want to compensate you for that.
Yeah.
When was the last time you bought an album?
When it was up for purchase and they're behind the paywall.
For which one?
I don't know. Like the last one I had to buy, I think Smino, when he did the Sad album and it was only up for download, I bought the downloadable album.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like he speaks to a good point. It's like, all right, I understand that he's trying to say that music should be valued more, right?
Yes.
I almost have a different take on this. Not that he's wrong, but I do think that as an artist, it is almost your responsibility to make your music be worth something.
But
does that make sense?
But even if you make your music worth something with the way that streaming is set up, you're still not going to get individually paid for it.
But you pay for an album because it was behind a paywall.
Because I couldn't access, because the reason it was behind a paywall was because it was like unclearable samples.
Okay.
So but there are artists doing it.
Yes.
Boldy James is doing vinyl only releases.
Yes.
Where you can only listen to the music on vinyl.
Yes.
And they have a really active copyright team constantly taking down music on SoundCloud and on YouTube.
Yeah.
So like there are Nipsey Hussle. Remember he used to sell like he had an album where he sold it for like $100.
Used to in 2025.
No. It was during the streaming era because he got on an interview and he talked about how he was trying to value his music and how he wasn't going to let everyone have it. And if you want to have this one album, you got to pay that much because that's how much it's worth.
Right.
Makami does this. There's been examples of it happening, but I don't think it's feasible for an up and coming artist to do it. But I think that there are ways that you can take this conversation and I don't think that you're ever going to bring full value back to the music. Yeah. Because I think people are going to always stream shit. I think that it's too big of a giant to take down right now. But I think that, again, merchandise, live shows, make those experiences that people feel like they can't miss out on, make them feel like moments. And that's how your fans are going to spend money with you and spend time with you. And that can also be an extension of the art. Because I think that with Doechii, if you're a fan of that Alligator Bites Never Heal album, you went to that tour. Not just because she's on tour, but because you knew that was going to be worth your dollar amount. Whether you saw a video or whatever, the time and effort that she put into bringing that album to life was well worth way more than $10. I think niggas were reselling that shit for $500.
Yeah, and I think that is also what I'm speaking to, right? Like I think you said it perfectly. The merch, the live shows, the experiences, like give your fans something more than just the music, because at the end of the day, like they have devalued our music. That's what it is. We could talk about you don't have to subscribe to the streaming service or the streaming era, but niggas need money. You feel me? You're going to sign the deal. Your label's going to distribute through all these different streaming services. But I feel like there are artists doing it right, and they're still doing it to this day, and they're doing it right now. I think Doechii's a great example. I think Smino's a great example. I think I think Larry June is a great example. There's artists doing it to this day, and they're doing it in the right way where they're making their music and their art mean something and value something. I don't know if I phrased that right, but
it makes sense. It's worth it. It feels like a moment. It feels like something you can't miss out on. I have to feel like there's a novelty aspect that feels like is missing from music right now in 2025. Because I think that if you ask an old head, even like, I feel like we could probably think back to the first album we bought. That first time that you actually purchased a song or a project or whatever because you felt connected to it. That used to mean something. I don't think kids are going to remember the first album they stream.
No, I remember the 100 songs I had on my iPod.
You know what I mean?
That's all I could listen to, and I thought about every one of those and made very intentional purchases. And those songs have like lasting impact on me. So probably partially because of nostalgia, but also because I own them.
Yes. Would you like to go back to that time?
Yes.
You think that was a better way of consuming music?
Yes, because I'm pretentious and a gatekeeper. And I think I love this more than 99.9% of you out there. And so I would invest more and I should have more music than you. I don't believe that we should. I'll put 3/4 of my earnings to buy music. And I would love to be the kid with the biggest library that can just listen to more music. And if you want to hear this song, you got to come over to my house. I feel like that's how it used to be with people that owned albums.
But here's what I like too. Because I do like that aspect. Because I think that's what creates community. Like, oh, you got to come, come to take a car ride with me or whatever and listen to this album.
Or come to this party because this DJ is spinning and that's the only time you're going to hear this new shit.
Or go see a show.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to do this, whatever. But I'm like, okay, I really like Until Japan.
Yeah.
And his music. And my homie Jack hadn't heard the project yet. So I'm able to just text him the link to the project and he can listen right now. Yeah. And now an artist that I'm a fan of, that I really like, that I want to be successful, I'm able to put on another person to their music instantaneously. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That feels like a benefit of the streaming era that I don't want to take a step back from. Because it feels like, wow, when you do get to the level of Vic Mensa, whatever larger artist you want to say, I do want to see you get paid per putting on per whatever song you put out or whatever. I want you to get paid for each body of work that you put together. But then for someone like a Japan or another up and coming or underground artist, I like the ease of being able to share their music and see their platform grow and still put more money in their pocket because they're streaming more, So it's like, it's give and take. It's not a completely terrible thing.
Yeah.
That music has become more accessible.
You're right.
But I do think Spencer's speaking to something that's important.
Yes.
And I don't know exactly how this will play out in the future, but we don't own any of the music anymore.
Yeah.
We are giving our money to a streaming service who has deals with different labels and different whatever to provide that service to us.
Yeah.
I feel like, and again, this is not a fully formed thought, but we just talked about an AI artist. What happens when all this music gets licensed to AI?
Yeah, they're devaluing it.
They're already doing that.
Yeah.
Like labels are making deals with AI companies. Universal signed a big deal with an AI company to license some of its music to help aid along the process of AI generated music.
So we're already there.
Yeah, yeah.
And here's what I think. Bless you.
I was like, yo.
All it takes is one of the big dogs. All it takes is one of those superstars to be like, my new album's not on streaming. I'm actually going to sell it. Like, not a Makami, not a Boldy James, not a Smino, a Drake,
but
Sabrina Carpenter,
so think about
a Weekend.
Said, all of these artists are signed to labels.
Yeah.
Labels are already in with not only the AI companies, but they're in with the streamers.
Right.
So they're never going to allow that to happen. It would take an artist to be completely independent and one of the biggest to do something like that.
Kanye already tried to do it low key with the stem player.
Or you could do it if you were signed to like a small, like an indie.
Probably not, bro.
I bet
these
you
niggas
could.
Need to make, unless you work, you'd have to work out your deal in a way that like this indie is seeing benefit from that. They're getting money from that.
I mean, everybody would make more money if it worked. You would just need a partner that trusts you and trusts the art. Okay. That's all it takes, right? Because the labels are feeling this too. It's not like the labels are making as much money as they ever have.
This is true.
We see it in the industry. I got laid off. You got laid off. Like that happens normally, but I think the music industry as a whole is down right now.
I think Vic Mensa also spoke to that.
Yeah. He said the labels don't know what to do, and it's a true statement. You know, I think we just saw. I was really saying like Hypnosis songs just got bought by Sony Music Pub. Like it does feel like things are folding into each other.
Yeah.
And it's becoming more centralized with like just one small group of people at the head of everything, kind of pushing all the buttons, making the plays. And I think that labels are going to have to make a change. I just don't know how quick they're going to do that. And I don't know if they're, like Vic said, I don't know if there's a plan. Like, what do you do to combat this?
Yeah.
It seems like it's already just out of control. Like streaming is such a regular part of everyday life. It's become so normalized that it's like you can't just take that away from people and expect them to be like, oh, I'm gonna keep consuming music at the same clip.
Yeah, did James Blake drop that platform, or was it just like, did it launch?
I don't know.
Because I would be interested in checking that out, because I would definitely pay for an artist unreleased catalog to have it on a nice UI.
I mean, it's even better just to by this logic, we should all be on Tidal and shit like that,
Well, yeah, but it's, yeah.
But Tidal's technically the same thing.
But
they pay a little bit better.
It pays better.
They just pay the artist better.
Like we should do that, but
Why don't we? I was going to make that switch a while ago and I didn't.
Honestly, I feel like there was no real reason. It just, I mean, I think if you went in and dissected, there was probably a reason, but it never really caught. Even when they had exclusive albums on Tidal first, people were still not really gravitating toward it.
I'm a nerd. I used to pay for Tidal because I like to watch the interview series on there. Like I remember there was a really, really dope sit down. It was Vince Staples, Joey Badass, and someone else. Like that was an interview. And like I remember seeing a clip from that and I paid for it because they were putting out shows like that.
Yeah.
And had artists as guests on there, you know. So Tidal and something like that could work, you know. I think we even see it a bit with podcasting, and it's like YouTube's cool, but like now niggas on that Patreon game and shit like that. Make sure to fuck with your boys over there.
Yeah, go subscribe to the Patreon if you want to support us.
But you know what I mean?
Let's plug that for a second because we're doing the same thing. We're giving away all of our art for free for the half a cent YouTube is going to charge you for doing the in-roll ads. If you come back to this show every week and rock with us and will be willing to give us 5 of your hard-earned dollars a month for not only this content you already consume, but an extra episode every week, unedited album reactions, and all the content we film, it would mean the world to us. So the Patreon link is in the bio. Wherever you're listening to this, you can find us on patreon.com/TheStereoVision. Support us like we're saying you should support your favorite artist.
Nah, facts. Yeah, everything's behind a paywall. Something that should have been behind a paywall. The Carter 6.
Dropped. Damn, we didn't even get to the Carter 6.
Yeah, I mean, we got to get to new music at the end of the podcast, of course. But the Carter 6, Lil Wayne's newest album, just dropped, and that shit was disappointing. I feel comfortable saying whatever I got to say because Lil Wayne is my GOAT. Talk about Wayne all the time. I think I'm a very avid Lil Wayne fan. Yeah. Wayne has always got off the last couple years being like, I don't listen to nobody's music. I don't hear nothing but myself, ... It fucking sounds like it, bro. It sounds like you are the only person in the room approving this music, being like, yep, this is the one. It proves that, again, I think a lot of big artists don't have A&Rs or don't have teams, but like, bro, get people around you who you can bounce ideas off of. Because I feel like even in like my insulated situations, when I'm like locked in with an artist and we're trying to work on a song or an album or whatever, it's like amongst us 4 or 5 people, we might think it sounds good, but then when we take it to somewhere else or you play it for the whatever, it's like now you got all these different opinions and they're going to tell you shit that like you could improve, you know? Like just because it sounds good to y'all doesn't mean it's going to sound good to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And I think with Wayne, he had to be hearing something different than the rest of us heard because these beats are unique is the kindest way I could say it. Yeah. How'd you guys feel about the project?
It was dog shit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like it was really, really bad. It was a tough listen.
Niggas are doing a lot because I don't think that it was like the worst thing I like it's bad. Like I'm not gonna play this again. I'm not gonna press play on this.
Yeah, and normally I'm with you where it's like let's push back against groupthink, but sometimes groupthink is right. And this album is really bad. One of the worst rap albums I've listened to.
Oh, see, now you're overdoing it. I've heard many worse rap albums. Not to say
what are a couple?
Fucking anything MGK has ever done.
You've listened to full MGK albums?
No, but
so you can't say that.
But I can't get through it. If I press play and
I'm saying out of
Chance
all
the
the
Rapper,
albums,
the Big Day.
That's better than this.
Well, I'd like Spencer to
Yo,
speak.
you're capping.
It is. Go listen to the Big Day again. The Big Day is better than the Carter 6.
No,
the Carter 6 is terrible, bro.
No. But it's not worse than the Big Day.
It was.
I agree with Spencer. Spencer, I would like you to speak to the point that you made about the Carter series and what it means to you.
I mean, I think everybody that likes hip hop knows that the Carter series is maybe the most franchised, important, special series of albums a hip hop artist has ever dropped. Like maybe when we're talking about Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3 with Jay-Z, it like rivals it, but I don't think it does. I think this is the most important album series to the genre. And if this album wasn't called the Carter 6, I wouldn't be so hard on it. If this was just another Lil Wayne album, because he's dropped a lot of bad albums in the last 4 years, if this was just another Lil Wayne album, I would have pressed play on it and probably not listened to the whole thing and been like, all right, Wayne's doing whatever. But there needs to be a certain level of care that you handle a legacy series like this with, in my opinion. So to see the Carter 6 before even hearing the music and look at the track list and see Jelly Roll and to see Bono and to see who you brought out for this incredibly special series, I was already disappointed. Then to hear the beats you picked, to hear what you were talking about, this was the opposite of special. This was the most, this was not a good album.
Yeah, I think it just, you also said this, that he feels like he's out of touch. You know, I think we've kind of see it we've kind of seen like throughout the years Wayne kind of like, not to use a harsh word, but decaying in front of our eyes, you know what I mean? And I think especially with this little like back and forth with Kendrick, right? We're kind of seeing him not even know how to really like express himself and compose himself in the public eye. Like, I feel like the way that he handled that was, I don't know, that shit wasn't player at all, in my opinion. But let me speak on the music real quick. Let me speak on the music. I did have decent expectations going into this. I think when I heard Welcome to the Carter, I was like, okay, this could go in a positive direction.
Me too.
And I think after 15 more tracks, I was like, wow, this man might have gone 1 for 16.
We all
to be honest.
But we all spoke before, and I don't think any of us were excited.
I was excited day of.
But okay,
because he dropped the sample
every other day.
Yeah, because Wayne has dropped a lot of bullshit in the last couple of years, and he has been talking out his ass.
Exactly.
He seems out of touch.
Same
seems
page,
like he has no team.
We're on the
seems
same
like
page.
he's still being managed by his engineer.
I agree.
They're like, where's his team?
So
where's Drake?
So
where's Nicki?
None of this surprised me.
Okay.
Nothing that transpired.
I'm not saying it surprised
me, and I think that Wayne. But I just think that there's like, it is not as it's not as simple as he's asked. You know, I think that Wayne at least deserves, like, let's at least walk to how you got here. Because I don't think this is just out of the blue. And I think that this is just the result of years of missteps, but also some of the things that used to make Wayne great. Because when I see the experimentation and I see the Bonos and I see the Jelly Rolls and all the things that he's attempting to do, especially with trying to get more into that pop sound, right? Wayne was doing that in the early 2000s when he got on his skater vibe and was doing How to Love and things like that. And Can't Believe It with T-Pain. These were all new things within the genre that he was doing, and him experimenting with other genres and avenues that no one else was doing right now. Wayne was touching genres that other rappers wouldn't touch and was killing it.
But that's not what this is.
Right? Fuck with me though. I think Wayne didn't do this I just think it's interesting because I don't think Wayne did like, I'm gonna grab Jelly Roll, I'm gonna grab Bono just for a money grab or a cash grab or anything like that, or to appeal to any other people. I think Wayne genuinely did that as a musician and an artist and a fan of these things and wanting to try things in different genres, you know? I just don't think it turned out well. But I do think he was trying to be creative, you know?
I can see what you mean. I just think it wasn't well curated.
It flopped.
That's
It
probably
flopped.
because there weren't other people in the room.
Yes.
And another thing I would say, just to push back on your point just a little bit. Yes, Wayne has experimented with like pop and rock, but the Carter has never been about pop music. Even How to Love is more of an R&B record.
Bro, I think that the Carter 4, what Mirror on the Wall with Bruno Mars?
Oh, okay. All right. No,
Yeah.
you got me there. But still, that's still kind of an R&B record, no? Mirror on the wall.
There's a pop song.
There's no world when Lil Wayne has ever attempted to do something like cover a Weezer song on the Carter series.
Yes.
That was egregiously terrible.
I just also wish
the Bono song sounded like a Call of Duty soundtrack song from 2018.
Yes, I agree.
It was one of the worst songs I've ever heard. I stopped it the second that Bono vocal hit.
I didn't want the Carter 5.
That Bono vocal didn't even sound like Bono.
Did you want the Carter 5?
Yeah. I wrote a whole review on the Carter 5.
But did you want
3,000 words?
I'm saying before it came out.
Yes, I did.
Did you feel like you needed the Carter 5?
Yes, I wanted it.
To
and it was
me-
heads and tails better than this.
I agree with
It
you.
was so much better than this.
I'm more so just saying I expect everything that we're saying now, I could have told you was going to happen before.
But bro,
Everything.
No, not me.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be a classic, and I could have probably told you it was going to be the worst Carter. But this,
I did not think it was going to be good music.
But did you think it was going to be this bad?
I was not surprised by it.
I don't even think you heard the whole album, bro.
Bro,
So
you heard everything that we said before.
And Miles, you should be able to walk away from an album like this with at least 3 tracks.
When bro,
He really went, I could give him 2 maybe with Cotton Candy, maybe. But even that is just like, it's too coked
Have
out.
you-
for me. I don't know what's going on.
There are
there.
no songs on this album that I will listen to again.
bro,
Not one.
There's no when Lil Wayne dropped an album with Rich the Kid, I knew it was clip, bro.
Yeah, but that's called Trust Fund Babies, and it's Rich the Kid and Lil Wayne
it
animated
doesn't
on the cover.
matter.
Yes,
That's
it does.
Lil, bro.
Yes, it
Lil
does.
Wayne
This is
should
the
no.
Carter 6,
No.
bro.
I don't care if it's the Carter, whatever. Lil Wayne should never be allowed to drop an album like that with Rich the Kid. Why the fuck are you letting that happen if you're on his team, bro? Lil Wayne has been fucking up his career actively, literally every single day for 10 plus years. So why the fuck am I surprised that the Carter 6 is fucking garbage? I don't get it. Like, niggas is out here like they didn't expect the fucking Peanuts to. This nigga doesn't talk to anybody. Who the fuck is Sydney Wayne a beat right now that's been hot in 10 fucking 15 years.
I hate that we live in the clip era because I could just see that. I already know what to do with that.
Thank you for that,
Nigga, no, funeral.
Miles said everything that needed to be said.
Yeah, no. See, but you see what Miles does though? He disagrees, but he really agrees with us.
I said all of this.
He just disagrees for conversation.
I didn't disagree for conversation. I just don't think that we need to act like this is.
You said How to Love was a pop record.
It was a pop record. First of all, you said there was no pop songs on fucking the Carter 4, and then I disproved you in 2 seconds.
Don't get hung up on this argument.
But Mirror on the Wall isn't really a pop song.
Don't get hung up.
To be honest.
The point that I've been trying to make is just that the Carter 5 came out in 2018.
Yeah.
Funeral 2020, ass. Trust Fund Babies 2021, ass. The Fix Before 6, ass.
Extra ass.
Welcome to Collard Grove with 2 Chains, ass.
Listenable.
Everything.
Listenable.
That wasn't ass. That
one was listenable.
All right, bro. This nigga's dropped one listenable tape in 4 or 5 attempts since 2018. So I had very low expectations for this.
So let me ask you this, because we have frequently said that there's maybe 2 or 3 rappers that we could legitimately call the best ever.
Yeah.
And one of them is Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Whether it's 2 or 3 or 1, I think he's always been a top of our GOAT rankings.
Yes.
Do these last 5 years hurt his legacy?
No. I look at it like Shaq. Shaq was ass in Phoenix. Shaq was ass in Cleveland. Shaq was ass in Boston. That nigga was ass for mad years of his career. But he had all that legendary shit at the beginning. He did all of that. He's since retired and has done everything good. You know what I mean? Like that. Once you've been established, once you've done what you're gonna do in this music shit, once you've given us greatness and proven who you are at the highest level, I'm fine with it. Wayne has given us plenty of great music.
And I totally disagree.
Yeah.
I completely disagree. I think this has definitely hurt his legacy. Just like everything Eminem did from 2010 to today, minus maybe the last couple years, has hurt his legacy.
But that's why I make the point that I just made.
What?
That's why I said all the shit I said about Wayne and the artistic vision and all that shit, because I agree with you guys on the point that this shit was not good. But I'm saying all that shit because I think that it was still coming from a place of trying to be great, trying to make records, trying to push shit, and it just didn't work out. But I'm like, that's not gonna fuck up his legacy for me, because at least he's trying to make new music, and like I can't fault him for that.
And you know what I think I'm starting to learn is I think that I view Eminem and Lil Wayne somewhat similarly. And I know that sounds crazy, and I will be the first to say Lil Wayne is a top 5 rapper of all time for me. Mm-hmm. But I think they just love rap.
Yeah.
I think they are rappers. Mm-hmm. And I know you guys have shit on me for this specifically before, but I maybe think a little less of them as artists. Because I think there is a difference between being an incredible, out of this world wordsmith, and that is a form of art in itself. But my favorite artists of all time are more than just single-faceted, incredibly skilled at rapping. They also have the ability to curate albums that work really well. They can read the culture and read what's going on outside and make timely music.
3000 is your favorite, right?
Yeah.
These niggas just dropped 2 albums that were not the best.
They were incredible. You just don't like that kind of music.
No. Objectively.
Yeah, objectively.
The Flute album, fine. You could say that was whatever. Yeah. This piano album was not good.
I mean, I don't think you listen to that kind of music.
But bro, no. If you listen to that type of music, you're not saying that album is good.
How do you know that?
That is factual. Because niggas who listen to that music were literally like, this is bad piano playing. This is not technically good piano playing. This sounds like someone who is trying shit.
Name one nigga.
And bro, the fucking nigga on the fucking Joe Budden podcast.
Who?
Bro, I'm not fucking Parks. Was like, this was not a good album just on a technical level.
He's a piano listener?
He fucking is he plays piano.
I didn't know.
This is not a good bro. That album is not good.
Okay. I'm not gonna die on the hill defending the piano album. I don't listen to that. But the Flute album is a great example because we actually spoke about Andre on stream, and I'm like, the Flute album. Well, at the time, I was like, what is this? I would have loved Bars, and I can't even lie. Like I've spun that album 50 times. You know what I'm saying? But what Andre did with that album has inspired me in so many different ways as an artist. I've listened to so many different interviews. No, the whole thing I was telling you about Alice Coltrane and about Pharoah Sanders and about how I really want to dive more into jazz music and how I'm learning jazz scales on my guitar, that is all from
the Flute album.
What Andre said. That's where it all started.
The Flute album?
Yes.
The Flute album.
Yes, and hearing him talk.
So him talking and the Flute album are two different things.
Him talking about the Flute album.
Okay.
And him talking about making the Flute album and why he made the Flute album has profoundly changed me as a person and as an artist.
But did the music on that Flute album influence that? Or was it the things that inspired the Flute album, the things that went into it? The actual music on that album is not getting played in your headphones. It's just you
can't pull them apart.
He's just an excellent speaker. No, Andre 3000 is a great speaker, a great artist, very articulate and true to the craft. But the music that he put on Wax, the last two projects, was not impressive, and that's fine because Andre has nothing to prove and his legacy is already cemented. Lil Wayne is just trying shit and putting out music and his ass. But that's fine because Wayne is still Wayne.
But they're different. They're different. They're totally different. They're totally different because Wayne is putting out dated, bad music in the same genre. You know what I'm saying?
He's putting out bad music in a different genre.
No, he's not.
Bro, you're not playing it.
No, he's not.
If you were listening to it, I'd feel different. But you're not.
I have been listening to
it.
Bro. Because I've started listening to Cosmic Jazz.
I'm not doing this.
I told you, I've started listening.
Niggas talking about Cosmic Jazz right now, bro. I'm not doing this.
I want to insert myself in this conversation somehow, but I don't know where to start.
Bro, I think does this affect Lil Wayne's legacy to you?
I do. Oh, okay. Could you say that again?
Does this affect Lil Wayne's legacy to you?
No.
Okay. I think we're on the same page then. Wayne is still Wayne. Wayne is a GOAT to me. I think that he's going to be the GOAT forever. So, fuck it. I don't really care.
That's crazy that you don't think you can tarnish your legacy.
Not when your legacy is as bulletproof as Wayne's. When you've done what he's done, once you release 7+ great bodies of work, it's going to be hard to fuck your shit up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I just see examples of it on both sides. And you see legends aging gracefully and cementing their legacy. And then you see people doing like this, dropping bullshit and dropping in the ranks for me personally.
And that is, I think, going back to the beginning where our mindsets differ. I think everyone falls off. I think everyone is going to get old. I think everyone is going to eventually get out of touch. And I don't fault you for that. I don't care about that. I think all you're doing is just naturally becoming who you're going to become. You know what I mean? And like, I don't think that should prevent you from making art.
But I feel like the way you're using fall off, I'll use it too. I'd rather see someone fall off, quote unquote, like Andre, than someone fall off like Wayne. Because I think Wayne is still trying to be who he was. And I think Andre has realized that's not who he is anymor.
And I disagree. I don't think
that is why I think that Andre is such an important artist. And I'm questioning Wayne's artistry sometimes. Because I think to be an incredible artist, you have to live artfully, bro.
Wayne lives the most artfully someone could live. He literally only listens to his own music and records music every single day as a 50-year-old.
Wayne's burnt, bro.
No, and Wayne is not. I think the issue comes from you saying that Wayne is trying to do something. I don't think Wayne is trying to get an old sound or do anything. I think he's just making music that he thinks is good.
Now, the whole last year, it seems like he felt disrespected and has been trying to get hot again.
He's not trying to get hot. I think he wants to be in the conversation. I think he wants to be talked about. But I think from an artistic, musical standpoint, I think he's just making what he thinks sounds good, and he's old.
And everybody doesn't fall off. Let me circle back to that because Nas is on the best 6-year run of his career. He has dropped the best music consecutively since it was written. Came out in 1998 or whenever it came out. So that is how, as a legend, you elevate your status. He like what he's done with King's Disease series and the Magic series. Like, I don't know. Look at what Hove did. You know, these are people that are continuing to cement their legacy.
Bro, after Kingdom Come, niggas were saying Hove fell off.
But after 444, were they?
They said he made a comeback. I think you can make a comeback the same way that Wayne, after all of this ass, after all his bad music, if he were to drop a great song or a great album next year, like people would be like, oh, he's back.
Yeah.
If he would have got better beat. And that's also what I'm saying. I think that Wayne's rapping wasn't that terrible on this. I think the beat selection was just awful. Like, I think that if he would have just got better beats, we would be talking about this completely differently. The production was a glaring flaw.
I think his rapping has deteriorated.
The rapping was great.
He's leaning more into the wordplay shit that he does, which is, I mean, it's cringe in 2025. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but I think I also like go back and listen to old Wayne. Like he was kind of rapping in a similar way. I think that his subject matter and things like that haven't really changed that much throughout the years. I think that, again,
the times have changed,
ass, bro. No, these beats are ass.
But you're saying if he was rapping the same.
If he was rapping the same over better production, I think everyone would be okay with this album. I think that these beats were just so egregiously bad and they sounded comical at points. Mm-hmm. Like that Elephant song literally sounds like a joke. The Island song sounds like the most glaring thing ever. The Bono song is like, these are just like weird ass beats to choose to rap over.
And now I think you had a good point though when you said like the rapping isn't actually that different than it always has been. Yeah. And I think that's another thing that has me looking back on some of the old stuff. Like, is this as good as I thought it was? To be completely honest, because the same thing happened with Eminem, right? Where it's like, you're like, I don't want to hear this no more. And then you listen to some of the old shit and you're like, oh, he didn't really change. I just did, you know? And so I think the artists that are truly like incredible and the best ever, to me, that doesn't happen.
So then go listen. So you're saying that you, because you tweeted it, every real fan went back and listened to the old Carters.
Yeah.
So you're saying 2, 3, and 4 don't hit like how they supposed to?
No, they hit like crazy.
Exactly.
They hit like crazy.
So we're not going to do that. Don't disrespect Wayne now. Nigga put him in a category with Eminem. That's crazy, bro.
He fell out of my top 3.
But, you know, again, go listen to another Flute album, bro.
Still in the top 5, but man, fell out of the top 3.
Appreciate y'all for watching, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yep.
Make sure to fuck with your boys on Patreon. Link down below in the description. And we'll catch y'all next time. Peace.